It's falling apart. Where's the church? That's the title, that's the topic of today's Daily Dose. You know, if you look around, it does definitely feel like the world is falling apart, like evil continues to advance. So what should we do? Well, we could shout at the devil. We could criticize culture. We can point fingers at Hollywood and at the mainstream media. We can blame the politicians. But I think the better question is really, where is the church? Check out this statement from John Stott. He was a pastor and theologian back in the day. And he says, if the house is dark when nightfall comes, there is no sense in blaming the house. That is what happens when the sun goes down. The question to ask is, where is the light? Similarly, if the meat goes bad and becomes inedible, there's no sense in blaming the meat. This is what happens when bacteria are left alone to breed. The question to ask is, where is the salt? Just so, if society deteriorates and its standards decline until it becomes like a dark night or a stinking fish, there is no sense in blaming society. That is what happens when fallen men and women are left to themselves and human selfishness is unchecked. The question to ask is, where is the church? Why are the salt and light of Jesus Christ not permeating and changing our society? Man, that statement is just, it's a zinger. I mean, it's like it hits the mark. Where is the church? And if we're honest and if we look around, we should ask the question, where is the church right now on our watch in our society? Look, why don't more Christians, really, why doesn't every Christian show up and speak up and bring change for the better to our world? Why not? After all, our children are being systematically groomed. They're being pursued by a perverted, sexualized LGBTQ culture. Where is the church in the midst of all of this? Our 4 and 5-year-olds are being programmed into gender dysphoria as they're being told that they might be a boy, or maybe they're a girl, or maybe something else altogether, maybe both. Go ahead, just choose your gender. What happened to being fearfully and wonderfully made by God? I mean, this is all just so twisted and dangerous. But in the midst of all of this, where is the church? I mean, I fear it's mostly silent. Not completely, but mostly. Most Christians sit back and continue to allow prayer and the Bible to be kept out of our public schools. Like, well, I guess that's just the way it is. Meanwhile, sexually explicit curriculum is being taught and shown to even our youngest children. Where's the church? I mean, when you go to libraries today, instead of running into a Bible study, you find yourself at a drag queen story hour. Where's the church? Marriage has been redefined in our culture, here in America anyway, being redefined in the public square to be something that's really an abomination, completely apart from the will of God for marriage. Where's the church? It's like we just accepted it when it happened. Men are abandoning their role and leaving their children fatherless. Where's the church? Young women and men, even children, are being trafficked. They're being sold for sex and abused right here in our backyard. I mean, this is dark, evil stuff that's like for real. It's going on. Where is the church? There's a few voices out there, but shouldn't it be all of us? Politicians are spending our children and grandchildren's money, putting the next generation under a mound, a burden of debt. It's evil. Where's the church? We should be speaking out about this. Our culture is being programmed and divided with the latest version of racist ideology in the form of what's called critical race theory. Our public universities have become godless, antichrist cesspools of humanistic and Marxist thought, yet we keep funding it. We keep funding it. Where's the church? Violent crime is escalating at a fever pitch around the nation. Where's the church? Depression, mental illness, hopelessness, Addiction, it's an epidemic. It's affecting all ages in every demographic. Where's the church? Politicians who support all this sexually perverted stuff, and they support abortion, they support tearing down the family, overspending, removing God from the public square. They continue to get elected. How can that happen? It's crazy. I mean, why aren't these politicians run out of town for what they're doing to our communities and to our children? Yet the church, for the most part, not everyone, but mostly the pulpits, the churches, the Christians, they remain out of the discussion. They remain silent. Some Christians even vote for these folks. Where is the church? Look, what are we going to do? Are we going to do anything? Are we just going to grumble to ourselves about how bad it is? Or are we going to get off our butts? Are we going to get out of the four walls of the church? Are we going to shine the light of Jesus, the kingdom of God, into this darkness that we live in? Are we going to speak up? Or are we going to take action? Are we going to make sure that our voice and our vote is heard? Are we going to have nothing to do with the fruitless deeds of darkness, including not voting for the people who do? Are we going to finally expose the darkness and the evil in our land? I mean, this is what we're charged to do. This is essentially what it tells us to do in Ephesians 5:11. Look, our world needs the church to show up and speak up and vote and be present and take action right now. Our world needs to say, wow, there's the church. We hear them, we see them. We feel them. We're experiencing the effects of the church showing up. Our world is better because the church is finally here. All right. What are you doing to be the church? What are you doing to show up? If you're part of Evident Life Church, we're here. We are speaking up and we're showing up. We choose to engage. Check out the upcoming events, the opportunities that we have, the impact groups that you can join. Let's engage. Join in, join us.